Hello, this is Jess, and I'm back with another story time about how I manifested my dream house without even realizing it. So many years ago, I had this really unique opportunity to visit another country. So I had previously lived in this country. It was one of my favorite, actually to this day, it is my favorite country in the world. So I used to work there and I had a little bit of a gap in my schedule. So I had a month of completely free time. And I thought it would be a great idea to travel to this country since I really missed it. And I just thought it would be fun. And I had another mutual friend who was finishing up her master's and about to start her new full-time job. And in between her master's and her job, she wanted to travel. And so she basically just had this apartment that was completely vacant. And so she invited me to stay there. And it was really fun. I arrived and completely fell in love with this neighborhood. The neighborhood is probably one of the most beautiful and expensive areas, not only in that country, but arguably in that entire region and continent. So it was this extremely historic neighborhood. It was in a residential area, and it's also in this cultural capital. And so basically, I absolutely fell in love with this neighborhood, and I was just so enamored with it. But I never really thought much about, actually moving there in the long term. I just basically had this holiday where I could essentially explore the area and take some time off. Fast forward a few years later, I returned to this country since I had this opportunity to study at one of the leading universities there. And so I was in the same neighborhood, and basically I was referred by a few people. I was looking at several different places. And since I was not living there, I basically just had these viewings done on my phone through video chat. And so I wasn't even exactly sure how it was going to work, but just through a lot of viewings, I thought that this was the best one. So after I moved there, I was basically just at home and looking through my photo album on my phone. And I was really scrolling through some of my really old photos because I was actually looking for some photo of my friend. And then I came across this beautiful picture of a very picturesque street, a very historic street. And I remember kind of taking this picture and just thinking this was my ideal dream street with these beautiful trees, and just the vibe was nothing else was like it. It was incredible. And I'm quite well traveled, so it was definitely one of the most beautiful streets that I've ever come across. And that was when I realized right at the center of that street was my building, i.e., the very building that I was living in, the very building where I was opening up my phone, my photo album, and staring at this photo. That was when I realized I was living in my dream house on my dream street in my favorite neighborhood in the entire world. And to this day, I still have that photo. I will probably never delete it because it is one of those things where I manifested without even realizing it. I never really planned or even talked to any agent. When I took the picture, I didn't even know that I was going to apply to that university, never mind getting in. So this was really completely unexpected, almost magical.